But speaking of only murders in the building, I want to speak about someone who's the king of murders, probably the devil. Devil May Cry is coming, everybody. Devil May Cry animated series is coming to Netflix. He's the king of murder, Mike. He's the murder man, murder master. Murder Master, not Mike. I don't know, but there's if you played the video games, I mean they came back. They started in 2001, but they're having a show coming, an animated series coming to Netflix by the same people that did the Castlevania series, and they're gonna do 8 episodes. Yep, same people. So if you like that series, that anime version, you're gonna get this by the same people. And if you don't know what Devil May Cry is, well, it's about it pretty much Dante. The animated series will follow the sinister forces at play, open a portal between human and demon realms. And when this happens, Dante, who is an orphan demon hunter for hire, is unaware that the fate of both worlds hangs in his hands. So, I mean, I think that the idea for this is cool. The video games went on for a long time, and they made so much money off this. And they didn't, like 5 or 6 of them. And Mike, you played the games, didn't you? Yeah, I thought you played the games.
I played the first, years ago. First one on PlayStation 2. When after Final Fantasy VII came out, actually, they probably developed the guy with white hair and a massive sword model. That was probably developed sometime in the 80s. I remember the original one being a hit. I bought 5 after I got a Steam Deck. I played a little bit into that. Seen more hack and slash stuff. So I'm into it. It seemed like, same kind of engine combos like that you'd be used to from the series. What was interesting to me, and I haven't been into anime like for a long time, if ever. I hit some of the classics back in the day. You got your Evangelions, you got your Cowboy Bebops, and a host of the old movies. But what was interesting to me is I wanted to see how many other shows Capcom has licensed these properties to. And I was surprised to see that there's it looks like approaching a dozen of these. They have I want to say Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. No, Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. They made that into a show. I didn't realize that. Monster Hunter, Darkstalkers, Power Stone, Street Fighter, and Beautiful Joe, the anime. I love it. Yeah. He's working. People are watching him apparently. So, again,
in a game like this, Mike, they sold 30 million copies of this too. Right. So I mean, that's a big fan base for something like this. But if Capcom's got winners like this, like Capcom's gonna just keep making them, right? Same as Mattel's making all these fucking spinoffs, like we talked about Barney on Monday, they're making, and the Hot Wheels, and the fact that it's like a franchise that they're like, well, okay, well, if one does well, let's do a million of them. What else can we make?
It's probably built-in success at this point, because I know for young people, one of the most massively growing segments in readership is manga. I mean, like 15 years ago, you'd be in Barnes and Noble and you've got one shelf dedicated to manga and then maybe a couple to graphic novels. Now that's like a 10-to-1 ratio. You got both sides of a whole row, manga. And this is serial stuff that's going on for hundreds of episodes. So I think that people have, probably young people especially, just have an appetite for this stuff. So, they've got a built-in audience, like manga. Any good.
Yeah. Now, Sabrina, I don't think this is really for you, probably, nope. but can you see the drive for Netflix to make a show like this? Do you think this is a good idea for them? Because Mike's saying, like, a lot of these shows are doing really well based off video games.
This is where I'm at right now. Sorry, I had a stroke. I mean, it's just not my genre. Unfortunately, I always feel bad when I don't. I can't knowledgeably speak on whatever we're talking about, but there's so much of this, and there's no way that I could catch up in one day when I know what we're talking about. So I'm sorry. It's just not, I don't know. Just no. I don't know. It seems to be popular. I feel like it's growing. They just did that One Piece live action, show on Netflix, which is doing really well. They're doing video game adaptations, which are doing really well. Twisted Metal did really well. Of course, The Last of Us did really well. So I see why they're doing it. I'm not the person that's going to be watching it. Let's be clear. I don't know what that is, bro, but you just cut it. and is that a ghost Michael Jackson? Like, what is happening right now?
Kind of. This is Devil May Cruise right here. This is Devil May Tom Cruise fan art. I thought it was kind of fun.
He might have been pleasuring himself.
People are like Tom Cruise should play him, should play Dante. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sabrina. I just, it's such a big franchise for video games, so that's why I want to talk about it. I never played the games either, though, too, but I've heard great things. I know my brother's obsessed, so I know that.
Do you think anime adaptations fare better than, say, movie adaptations of video games? Because we got a real bad batting average for movies.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Masters of the Universe. They couldn't make the Masters of the Universe work as a live action, and they made the animated version, a couple series. Kevin Smith got behind it. It's done pretty well for Netflix. So maybe that's just like a niche. They could just making money off.
Well, it's checking two boxes.
Yeah.
It's checking the anime box and it's checking the video game box.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Sean, you ever play this game? What do you think about the idea of a Devil May Cry animated series for Netflix?
I mean, as someone who had never played a Castlevania, sorry, everyone that had that on their bingo cards, I have never played a Devil May Cry game, but I loved and really enjoyed and looked forward to every season that they made of the Castlevania show. Granted, it also had one of my favorite comic book writers attached to it, so that's a whole nother thing. But I think that it is definitely a IP that has potential. That could be, kind of utilized in a way to just kind of branch it to a larger audience. And I mean, Castlevania did so well. Let Devil May Cry do it. I loved Sabrina's comment about Twisted Metal had the lowest expectations and delivered almost on every single one of them. Like, it was just fantastically done, which is surprising for a show like that, especially with that subject matter. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes of it. I don't play those kind of games, so hard to say. But
you might love it. Like you said, it's working for people that aren't fans of it too.
They haven't done a show with a moody anti-hero with a giant sword before.
It
either,
sounds
so that's
super unique.
they're paving new ground.